Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to create a simple command line program in Golang. Now this program includes a help chart, which I just added some flags to show you a basic usage. So let's just see how it looks. String and an integer, just a number, and we have an error and some kind of a warning. And when we run it, we can get a nice ASCII of the program, and info logs for the string and the integer, and an error for the custom error, and a warning that we just type. So basically this is just a silly example, but this is a nice template to start. So doing so, we will see how to use the flag package by Golang, and we will do some styling using the Logrus package, and also we'll do some ASCII art. So let's start. And create our project. First, create, let's call it CLI fun, cd into it. Let's create a basic source package. Basic, the first main file, and now let's go and bring a Makefile. Now I made a video about creating a Makefile for Golang, and if you like, I will add it I will add it in this description. And you can go and just copy it from the project. And in this case I'll just use wget and get the raw of it. Now let's go inside Vim and change the exe name. Will stay main. This will stay the same. Let's delete for now the packages, and let's comment this guy out for now. Oops, sorry. There you go. And let's save and exit. Now let's open IntelliJ. That's it. Now let's start basic package. Let's start by importing FNT Library, just so we can see that everything is working. Super. Now let's go on and create our show help function. Take nothing, returns nothing. And what we want to do here is basically to print out the help table that will show all of our CLI program usage. So you can do it by hand. I got something ready now, I created in advance, and you can just copy paste it and then edit it, or just do it by yourself. But as you can see, it's just a normal CLI table with the flags, S for strings, or you can use strings and a short explanation what the function of the flag, and so on and so on, and then help. Now let's create a function. So now let's start working with the flag package that comes built in with Go, and let's import it. And now we can create a function that will receive a flag, returns nothing. And basically what we're doing here is defining the usage of the flag to a function and gets nothing, and it will perform to us. All I wanted to do is to show the help, and it will fire up whenever the user misuses the usage that we will do in a second. So if you make something, you put a wrong input or something like that, it will pop up the show help function, which will print the help to the user. Now let's create our first flag. Let's call it string, because we will use it as an input to strings. It will be a string, as we said. Let's add the string var. First we will do a memory address to fill up our string variable that we just defined, and then we will name the flag, which will be in this case S, and by default I want it to be just some string, and here we can add a short description of this flag, but we don't need it because we have it already here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this and use the same for string, like a full name, which means that the user can use the string or only the S. Now if it's longer than one letter, then you will need to use 2 slashes, and if it's only one, you will use only 1. Okay, now let's call our setFlag function. So if the user misuses the system, it will fire up, and we will give it a command line variable, which is simply the vars and the variables that were inserted from the command line. In this case, it will be whatever inserted after S or whatever inserted all together. Now let's pause the flags. And create our first usage. So if our string variable is not an empty string, which means we gave it something, let's just log. Oops, I don't have a log, so let's import a log. So let's just log, let's just print let's just give it an S and a new line, and let's print the string now. Sorry. Now let's build it and let's run it. This is my string. There you have it. See the user input and hi, this is my string. Because it's a log, so it shows you the time and the date by default. Now if we run it just like that, we'll have some string because we ran it empty as you remember, some string is the default value. Now let's just get rid of the default value and let's try to do something funky. Let's build it first, and now let's just give it some gibberish. And as you can see, we're getting back the help table, and we can see the error that flag provided but not defined. Cool. Now let's add let's create the help flag. So help flag will be a boolean, so let's create help var, which will be a bool. Let's do it a bool var. Oops. Let's give it an H as a flag, and by default it will be false and no description is needed. Duplicate it, and same for help. Let's create a flag if for it. So if as help is true, you can just use the shortcut. Let's show the help value. Let's build it. Clear. Nothing happens. And if we do help, we get the help. And if we use help, we're also getting the help. Cool. Now you see this is kind of annoying. So let's change it to println, which will make a new line for it. And super. Okay, so now let's do the next one. Let's see how an integer looks. So basically we just using the same but only with integers. So let's do a variable that is int, and same as before, only now int var, and again assigning it filling the int variable we just added, I as a flag, 0 as default, and no description. And let's just give it an int because we need to do the same. So if int doesn't equals 0, let's log it. This is your 0 integer. And build it really quick, and cool. oops, this is not a string, this is a digit, so cool. But now something is still kind of broken, because if I'm going, oops, sorry, because if I'm going to use a string, and then the integer flag, and then help. See, I'm getting the help and all the other flags, which is not good, because usually when you ask for help you use only that. So let's add a return after the help, the show help function. So it will be the last thing that we do. Now if I use integer, I will get only the help. Cool. Now let's decorate this simple program with a little bit of ASCII. And the way to do it is, let's first add our package of, call it header. Let's inside of it, let's add a Go file, which also will be called header. All we need to import, actually, it's the FNT package. And now let's call this function get, sorry, with a big G, header, takes nothing, and it returns nothing. Now let's do as before, like we did with the options. Print, oops, 9. Now let's go find us some ASCII out. Now to find it, there's a bunch of sites like this, like ASCII generators on the net. This is one of them. I will add description. Let's add CLI fun. I don't like this. Let's see something more nice, maybe. No. It's kind of nice. Yeah, let's take the Crawford. Now let's copy it. Let's go back and add it to here. Let's just move it a little bit to the right, add some spacing below, above. Let's go back to our main package, and here, if we did not ask for help, because if we did ask for help, I want it not to show. Let's first import our header, new header package. And if we did not ask for help, let's use this, let's print it. Okay, let's build. And voila, there you have it. Small ASCII out. And if we use the help flag, we won't see it. Okay, cool. The next thing we want to do is to add some errors and warnings to our log. But before we do it, let's change the default log that is used by Golang to a Logrus package, which makes you which gives you the ability to change the styling and all of others, and a lot of other stuff in your logs. So we're going to use something very simple, but it will open the door to you probably to play with it a little bit and to make any logs that you like. So basically so let's start with creating a new package which we will call logger. Inside of it, let's create a Go file which we call logger as well. Now let's import the Logrus package and let's add it to our Makefile. And uncomment it. Let's import it. Cool. Okay, so you can go to Logrus GitHub to get more information about it, and I'm going to just show you the very simple usage. But basically how it works is that you get some kind of you create some kind of an init function. With it, your init initialize the formatter, and anything that's inside this formatter is initialize the formatter. So let's just do that. Let's create the init function. Let's call it, gets nothing, returns nothing, and let's just call it text formatter, and let's just initialize the text formatter. And let's just give it a couple of options just for the example. So let's use the text formatter that we just created. And let's use the timestamp format. Give it something like this. And let's just give it the full timestamps. Now we need to wrap all the log options that Golang have by default inside the logger init functions. Inside the logger function. So if the user uses this package to call printf, he will enter the format. Format which is a string, and the value which is an array of interface, and it returns nothing. Now if we use it, we will call our Logrus function, which will take the format because it's built exactly the same, and the value. Now you need to do this to all, or at least all of those that you want to use, or functions that you want to use. So I'm going to speed up the video and print them quickly, you can just copy paste them, or if you like you can type them yourself, but there's nothing a lot to say, so I'm going to speed up. Okay, so that seems okay. Let's save it, go back to our main file. Oh, and the last thing I forgot, most important one, is to initiate our text formatter. For that, let's use the set from matter function. And set formatter. Now let's init the logger. Let's just do it just before the flags functions, and let's change the log to logger. Now it's best to use the same log because maybe you have already the project, or maybe you're just used to using log when using the log package. So let's just call it log. Now by using log we will go to our logger wrapper package. So now all that is left is just call our logger package and init it. And there you have it. You have the time and the output. Now let's add the error and the warning just to close this thing, just to show you how it looks in the formatter. So for the error, let's make it a boolean. Just copy this one, copy the help one, let's call it error. Let's copy paste it, an E and an arrow. By default it will be false. And let's see, let's go, let's put it in the end, and if error is true, let's make the error key let's print the error, and now we don't have any error here, so let's create one. Let's use the arrows package, which basically one of the things you can do with it is to create new custom arrows. Thing broke. And let's do a warning. The warning, we just use a string and let's paste it. W, and by default it will be an empty one. And if is not equal, is not empty, that just just add it here. And that's it. So now let's just use all the flags to see let's try the integer, for example, with some strings, and we get the options. And now let's try the integer with number and error and some kind of warning. This is way too long video. Let's run it, and we get the integer, we get an error, something broke, and we get our warning. So obviously this is a simple and kind of silly example of a basic flag system with some logging customization, but I usually keep a template of something like that to use on most of my projects, and every big project is at the bottom of it have some kind of a flagging system. And obviously all the links are going to be to this project, and to everything we talked about is going to be in the descriptions. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below any comments or things you have to say about this project or more to come. And bye bye.